This week,
Don't forget about it.
Lu Nishmat, huh?
When you make it, don't forget about it.
This is the video right now. You're already going to be in it all. That's it. You got a shout out already. First week here, you got a shout out. Chazak. Guys are paying for these shout outs. Lu Nishmat. First things first. Okay, this class the food was donated. This class, with Hashem, every word we're going to say is going to be Lu Nishmat, Estat Bat, Rinka, Refuah Shlema, Daniel Chaim Ben Karmit, and Refuah Shlema, Dora Shulamit Bat, Yitzchak Ben Rivka, Lu Nishmat, Yitzchak Ben Rivka, Avishai Ben Oren. ורפואה שלמה לדורה בת שולמית. This week's parasha, Parashat Re'eh, right? And in this parasha, in the 13th chapter of the last book of the Torah, and the 4th verse over there, the pasuk says like this: "Ki menaseh Hashem Elokechem etchem, ladat he'eschem oavim et Hashem Elokechem." And it translates roughly like this: "For Hashem your God is testing you to know whether you love Hashem your God." Now, what is this talking about? What is this test that we're talking about over here? It says the test is false prophets. What's a false prophet? A false prophet is, if imagine now someone would come to you right now and tell you, hey, listen, I saw God, I spoke to God last night, and we're changing things around a little bit. God said that He doesn't want religion to be like this anymore. We want to change it around, we want to go a different route. Now we know famously the Chachamim, the big rabbis, they tell us that what? That every parasha that's going on in this week is connected to something that's going on in the world currently right now. Now I want to ask you guys a question. A false prophet, does it feel relevant to us? Does it feel connected to what we're going through today in our days? Is there something to it? A false prophet. Imagine now, to you guys, I want to ask you guys a question. If somebody walked into this door right now, some crazy guy walks into the door, he tells you guys, I saw Hashem last night, and we're changing everything, and I'm the Mashiach, and I'm here, and I'm this, and I'm that, and we're ready to go, we're moving, let's get it pumping. Who here is going to buy a show of hand? Who here is going to feel like, oh, you know what, I'm inclined to go after this guy. I'm yearning in my heart to go after him. Everyone to tell him, thank you, Chazak Baruch, have a nice day, please. The door's over there. Don't come in here again and interrupt us. Where are you coming from? Who has a desire to go after such a thing? So what is this test? And how is it relevant to us? It says, you know when it says it's false prophets, what is it talking about? Is it really talking about false prophets? We know, even Hashem knew that when Mashiach is going to come, the real Mashiach is going to come, it's not going to be so easy for everyone to believe him. So what did Hashem do? He gave 2 simanim. He said, you're going to be simanim, they have to have these simanim, these signs, they have to come to you and show you these signs, that they can answer certain questions, they can tell you certain things. If they can answer, they can come through with these signs, then you know that's a real Mashiach. So you see, even Hashem knew that the people wouldn't believe. So what is this false prophets? Who has even a ta'avat? Especially not in our days, we don't have a desire to go after false prophets. What is it talking about? So it must be talking about something else. Must be talking about, and today I was sitting down thinking about it. What? Must be talking about something. What are they talking about? And I came to the conclusion. You know what the false prophets are? The false prophets are desires that a person has in his life. Desires that a person has in his life. And who's the false prophet? The evil inclination. The evil inclination comes and tells you, these desires that you have, they're the ones that are going to bring you happiness. These things that you want to chase after, money, fame, woman, success, everything you want to chase after, these are the things that are actually going to bring you happiness. These are the things. Hashem's ways, those things are limiting, restricted, you can't do anything, you're stuck at home all day, you have to sit in the yeshiva, nothing, can't, that's it. Everything black and white. Life is chanuk, you can't do nothing, everything is, you can't breathe. It's like the famous parable. We know that there was once a man who needed to travel a very long distance. And as he goes on to the way, he has two paths in front of him. One path, as we know, he sees it in front of him, thorns, thorn bushes, a very rocky road. He's looking at the road, he says, okay, there's another option maybe. Looks to the other side, he sees another road, smooth, no bushes, no nothing, clear. Wow, you can see the sun beaming through, butterflies flying. He says, wow, it's a beautiful road over here. Now I ask you guys a question, which road are you going to take? The one with the thorns and the rocky road? No one's taking the thorns and the rocky road. It's obvious everyone's taking the butterfly. The only thing you caught was the butterfly. Huh? This guy's thinking about butterflies. Everyone's going to take the smooth path. Everyone wants to take the smooth path, obviously. Now what if I told you guys, past half a mile, right? After half a mile on the smooth path, then it becomes a rocky terrain. It becomes treacherous. It's almost impossible to get across. You're risking your life to go over there. And the other place, after half a mile, it's smooth sailing. Everything is beautiful. You get to the destination. There's beautiful butterflies. Huge, but no, this one you could ride a butterfly on his wings. You know, Avi Shalom was jumping on the butterfly and he's flying away with it. Huh? Who's going to go the other route? You can ride a butterfly the other way. Obviously, you're going to go with the butterfly. Obviously, you're going to go the other way. No? Because now you know. So what's the evil inclination do? What trick does he play on a person? That's him says, oh, only look at the beginning. Only look at what's in front of you. Right? We're the generation of instant gratification. Right? Instagram. Right? Everything is instant. I want food, I want it right now. That's why food back in the day, you used to go to a restaurant, you wait half an hour, 45 minutes, and then the food will come. Today, fast food. Everything needs to come as fast as possible. Now, how do you get fast food? What happens with fast food? Everything is already pre-cooked and frozen, and they just throw it into a fryer to cook it as fast as possible. Shh, what a guest. They throw it into a fryer to cook it as fast as possible. So what are you compromising? You say, oh, I want my time, right? I want to be able to save some time, 30 minutes, so I'm not going to wait if I go to a nice restaurant. No, you do, 25 guys in the back. If I go to a nice restaurant, I'm going to wait. I order a steak. How long you got to wait for a steak over there? At least 30, 45 minutes. You're sitting over there waiting. Today, Baruch Hashem, I went to today. My wife, we're going to go buy steaks. So I went to the store, about 2 nice filet mignons. So how long is it going to be? She's thinking 45 minutes. Within 15 minutes, I was already back. The steaks were cooked, beautiful, ready to go. What 45 minutes? What's going on over here? What's taking so long? Bring the food already. Hashem, it's part of the experience. You go to a restaurant, you gotta wait. They know how to get the stomach growling a little bit. Now, it says over here, what are you compromising for your time? You say, I want to eat fast. So you go to a fast food restaurant, you get highly processed, with fat foods and grease and everything like that, which ultimately leads to diabetes and whatever it is. So what are you compromising? Oh, I'm saving 30 minutes, but I'm losing 10 years of my life. Chazak Baruch that you didn't see the end. You saw the beginning. You saw instant. Oh, you want to see right now today? Yitzhak tells you, only look what's in front of you. Only look at the smooth path. Only look at the path with the butterflies and everything like that. But the other one, Obviously, Judaism, it's in the beginning, you see it seems a little bit restrictive, right? Someone comes and tells you, Shabbat is, I don't understand it. What do you mean? For me, if you come and ask me, Yom Menucha, for me, a day to rest, right? If I wanted to rest, if you ask me a day of rest, let me sit down, let me go to the beach, let me play some matkot, let me go a la manga, let me pray, let me pull out the nargila, let me do what I want to do. What? Now I have to go to shul, I have to sit down and have a seudah the night, and have a seudah the day, and Seudah Shlishit, and the third meal. I want to eat that many times. I want to just do my thing. I want to relax. So what is it? That's my relaxation. So what, you're going to tell me now I have to relax? So I tell a person who's a working guy, right? Person who owns many, many businesses. What do you tell him? Tell him, go. Take a Tuesday off. Take a Tuesday off. Why not? Tuesday off. Go to the beach, matkot, mangal. No, what? Go, take. Takes a Tuesday off. What's he doing? He gets to the beach, first things first. He's on his phone, he's texting. 1 minute, 1 second. What's the business? 1 second. Hello? No, nothing. You can't have 2 minutes to relax. Every 2 minutes, the phone is blowing up. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, 1 second. In the middle of the matkot, he throws the paddle. He has a phone call. What's going on over here? I can't relax. Because he knows that he has the opportunity to work. He knows that he has the opportunity sitting there waiting for him. If he wants to, he can. Comes Shabbat and says, even if you want to, you can't. And guess what? When you can't, even if you wanted to, then you really can relax. Then you can sit back and say, wow, you know what? Even if I wanted to, I couldn't work. So let me enjoy. And then you can enjoy. And what's the point of the meals? What the shame, when you have children, everyone here be zoche. You have children, during the week, and I say this, I'm a father of 2. During the week, as much as you want to be around and everything like that, you're busy. You don't really have time. Even when you're with them, they're half on their toys and miskakim in the corner, whatever it is, and you're kulcha ba'avodah, whatever it is, you're in your mind is other places. You're not thinking. Come Shabbat, you have time to spend quality time with your children, go for a walk, take them to the park, spend time with them. It's tanug. It's the best thing you could possibly imagine. It's time where you have no choice but to rest. That's what it is. You have no choice but to rest. But when I have a choice but to rest, then I'm going to take the choice not to rest. That's the idea over here. Comes and says, if I'm looking at it on the face level, if I'm looking at it just in the beginning of the road, it looks like thorns and bushes, it looks like a rocky road, it looks like it's unenjoyable, it looks like it's restrictive, it looks like it's limiting. Go the extra half a mile. Past half a mile and you'll see what's going on over there. But the evil inclination says, no, I want you to focus in on the desire. I want you to focus in on the instant gratification. So what does he tell you? Go chase after fame. Go chase after money. Go chase after women. Go chase after these things. These things are going to make you happy. You go, you make $100,000. You feel good, right? That's happiness right there, instant. Or whatever, you close a deal, you feel good. That's happiness, instant. You go, you close with a woman. That's instant. You go, you get famous on Instagram. You get famous on TikTok. I have 100,000 followers on TikTok. Right? They feel good. They didn't make $1, but they feel good. They didn't get, in TikTok you have to get to at least 10 million to make money. But they feel good, 100,000. Okay. They feel good. But then what happens? A person who lives his life like this, and I said a story, I don't know if I said it over in this shiur, but I've said it at least, if not 100 times, 120 times. A story of the guy with the Bentley. You know, I heard this. I said over here the story of the Bentley. This story, I love this story. You know why I love this story? I personally made it up. That's why, because everything, you know. Here's a story of a guy, just himself. You know what? Pinuk, I work hard. It's time for me to go out and splurge a little bit. I want to buy myself a new Bugatti Veyron, limited edition. I'm going to go to the dealership, buy something nice. Goes to the dealership. What color you want? I want it in copper orange. Copper orange? You sure? Yeah, no, I want a copper orange. Or I want a baby blue. Whatever color, right? Gets the car. He has to wait 3 months till the car comes. You know, everything is a limited order. You know, you have to be part of an exclusive club. Yeah, no. You have to be part of an exclusive club to get the car. You have to only be through a reference. You know what I'm saying? You have to have another guy who has a Bugatti, and he has to call the guy who owns the Bugatti and tell him, hey, I have a friend who wants to buy Bugatti. Oh, okay. Then only then you could buy a Bugatti. Okay, so once you get through the whole system of the interview process of whether or not you can buy, it's like a whole job. You can interview process, you can buy. He finally gets the car. Says, I want it in baby blue. Gets the car in baby blue, let's say, or copper orange, whatever color he likes. Says, okay, you know what? I'm happy with the car. I got a baby blue. 3 months, the car finally comes, pulls up to the neighborhood. You see him throwing through my vase, and you hear him through the door, going through crazy with the windows down, music blasting. Everyone has to know that he has the Bugatti Veyron. 3 months pass. One of his neighbors sees, says, you know, this guy has a nice car. I also want one. I have money. Why not? Calls a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend who has a Bugatti. Tells him, send an email to the guy. Let me set up an interview. They said, okay, you have an interview September 14th. Come in September 14th, and then you're going to get. Okay, no problem. Comes in. What color you want? You know, I was thinking about it. I had some time to think about it. I want an exotic matte purple. Exotic matte purple? So yeah, it's the color, but it's never been done before. I know. How much extra? A couple thousand. No problem. Small money. Gives a couple extra thousand. Gets the exotic purple. Puts up the shchuna. Same thing. Windows, everything like that. Now what happens? His neighbor, who got the baby blue, is seeing the exotic purple. He says, what do you mean? I want the exotic purple. Calls the Bugatti store. Tells him, I want the exotic purple. He says, what are you going to do? You already have a baby blue. You can't change it. Can't change it. You want to go and wrap it? Go wrap it. I'm going to wrap a Bugatti Veyron. Are you crazy? I want a purple one. I'm sorry, sir. You can't do it. Now what? Comes home. The same guy who yesterday was the happiest guy in the world with his Bugatti Veyron comes home. Now I hate this car. I can't stand it. I want to see it. Put it in the driveway. I don't ever want to see it. I don't want to see it. Went and bought himself a different car, an exotic purple, matte exotic purple. Different car. Because he couldn't take it. Because a person who's constantly chasing after material, fame, money, everything like that, it's always associated with other people. Always. When you're living your life trying to appease other people, you want to be dressed the nice. You want to be dressed the nicest. You want to have the most fame. You want to have the most money. It's always a comparison between you and another person. When you chase after these things, it's always a comparison. When you chase after women, who has the prettiest woman? You chase after money, who has the most money? Fame, who has the most fame? It's always a comparison. And when you live your life trying to appease other people, you'll never have the ability to be fully satisfied with what you have because you're constantly chasing something else. It's a never-ending black hole. If a person would come and tell you beforehand, before you went to the smooth path with all the butterflies and everything like that, by the way, you're going to go over there and half a mile down, you're going to get into quicksand and you're going to be fighting for your life. You're going to be sitting over there in quicksand, I can't get out. He's going to be drowning, coming back up. All you see is a little head and a little The guy's fighting quicksand. Why? That's what it is. When you go after desires, it's a never-ending hole of trying to appease yourself with happiness. It doesn't ever come. However, on the other side, we have over there what may seem to you a little bit rocky, but if you go half a mile, if you just give in a little bit of that, if you go a little bit and give a little bit of that extra push to put yourself to the extra half a mile, then you get to the smoothest path. Then you get to a path that gets you to the destination that you want to get to in the happiest way possible. That's it. Hashem, that's what he says to you. I want to see what you're holding. Over here, Dafka says the word love. He says, I want to see if you love him. Why love? Why is this a love? If I come and show you that I have a desire, comes and says, we see this concept in the Torah. We know that when the Jews came out of Mitzrayim, right after they heard Hashem speak, Moshe Rabbeinu went up to get the 2 tablets. 10 Commandments came up to get 2 tablets. And during the time he was there, and the last day, the Jewish nation did the sin of the golden calf. Now, at that same exact moment, God tells Moshe, go down to your nation because they sin. He says, your nation, go down to them because they sin. Right? Now notice, Moshe Rabbeinu comes down with the tablets. He's carrying them. Gets down the hill, and who's waiting for him? Yeshua ben Nun. Now Yeshua ben Nun was his main student, and he never left. He was 40 days at the bottom of the mountain, so he didn't know what was going on. Moshe Rabbeinu tells him, I'm hearing trumpets, I'm hearing drums, I'm hearing music. Yeshua tells him, maybe it's the drums of war, maybe we're getting ready for battle. Comes Moshe and says, no, I noticed this sound. This is drums of celebration. Goes and walks over, sees the Jewish nation dancing around the golden calf. Dancing and singing around the golden calf. At that same moment, the tablets fell and broke. The Midrashim tell us that the tablets were made out of rubies and sapphire and was very, very heavy. Very, very heavy. It was a miracle that Moshe Rabbeinu was even able to pick them up. As soon as his eyes saw them singing and dancing in the golden calf, the miracle went away from the tablets, and it became so heavy he wasn't able to hold it anymore, and they fell. Now I ask you a question. If the sin was the sin of the golden calf, that they worshipped an idol, then why did Hashem let him come down with it? Why didn't they break right on the spot? Why didn't Hashem say to him, you know what, leave them with me, I don't want to give them to this nation, they're undeserving? Why when he came down, he was still holding them? Why was it until he saw them dancing and singing that they were still intact, they were still going, the miracle was still holding? Why is it only after he saw them dancing and singing? Mr. Charlie Harari, one famous speaker, once brought a story that I think brings down the point beautifully. Says, there was a man and a woman, many years ago, around 100-something years ago. Around 100 years ago. And they were looking for a couple. They wanted to get engaged. And he was going on dates, it wasn't working out. She was going on dates, wasn't working out. Finally, a friend of one of the guys says, you know what, I have a girl, why don't you guys go and, see what's the situation. Maybe you guys, she's been looking, you've been looking, who knows. They go on a date. 3-4 dates. Wow, she's a good girl. Seems like the perfect fit. You know what? I like her. I want to get married. They both agree. They get engaged. They get married. Shortly after they get married, they get a letter in the mail. Your husband has been drafted to the army. He has to go fight in the war in Vietnam. He's sitting there crying. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? He has to go. Says, nothing we can do. I got drafted. If I don't go, they're going to put me in prison. I have to go. Packs his bag, and the last day the woman is sitting there crying, he's crying. They get up and they go. She sees him off. Not a few weeks pass, a woman gets a letter in the mail from the army. She opens the letter, MIA notice, missing in action. We don't know where your husband is. Obviously, being this is a war, we already haven't found his corpse or him in 10 plus days. We apologize to inform you that most likely your husband is dead. Most likely your husband didn't make it, as this is war, and we can't find him or the corpse. We have to assume that he passed away. The next morning, miraculously, the soldier finds his way back into his neighborhood. He survived, he didn't die. He got away from the army because he couldn't be away from his wife. And he came to the States, and he was smuggling himself into the States to be with her. And as he's walking down the street, he's so excited, he's giddy. He's with his backpack and everything, he's going. And he wants to look into the window, see his beautiful wife. Looks into the window, and what does he see her? She's up there dancing and singing. Dancing and singing. He says, wait a minute. Guy turns around, takes a step back. He says, wait a minute. This woman is assuming that I'm dead. I know the protocol. She got the MIA notice. She's assuming that I'm dead. She should have been sitting down here sobbing. And I would come in and it would be great joy. And instead I come and I see her sitting and dancing and celebrating. Does that mean she never loved me? Does that mean she never really wanted to get married? That she's happy that I'm gone? Comes Moshe Rabbeinu, after he comes down from the Har, and they're dancing around the Avodah Zarah against the golden calf. He says, does that mean they never really wanted to accept the mitzvot of Hashem? They never really wanted to go in Hashem's ways? They just did it out of fear, out of something, but not love. Hashem says, I'm going to test you because I want to see if you love me. I want to see if when things get hard, if you love me. We know the story of the golden calf. What ended up happening over there? We know that during the plague of darkness, Hashem gave the Jews the ability to go into the Egyptians' house and to find all their valuables. And when they came to ask them for the valuables, now there was a commandment on Israel to take, onto the Jewish nation, to take out Yosef's bones with them. But nobody knew where his bones were. As the Egyptians, for them, the source of blessing was the Nile River that surrounded Egypt. So Yosef was the source of blessing, as he made them one of the wealthiest countries in the world. So they decided the Nile's a source of blessing, and Yosef is a source of blessing. So what did they do? They took his bones and they threw it into the Nile. Now go find them in the Nile now. So what did Moshe Rabbeinu do? After everyone was busy collecting all the valuables, since he was a Levi, and that was the only time he could go, because usually in Israel we have to do this task. But since they were busy with going to the valuables, he says, now I can do the opportunity of being the Mikayim, the mitzvah, of doing the mitzvah, of getting Hoshev's bones. Goes to the water, writes down on a petek Hashem's name, Alesho, one of God's names, Alesho, which means rise bull, which is the sign of Yosef, throws it in the water, throws the petek in the water, the little ladder, and the bones, the casket, rised up miraculously from the Nile, and he took it with him, and they left. Now, what he didn't know, rewind, that when Moses came back to Egypt, he saw that people were killing babies using them as bricks. Midrash says that they were taking babies, when they ran out of bricks, they would put babies in there, alive, and then cement them down as bricks to hold up the pyramids. Because the way they did it, there was straw, and then they made them into bricks and cement. So as a way of punishment, since the Jews were multiplying at such a fast rate, they would make them take babies. And Moshe Rabbeinu came to him and said, what's Hashem? He says, this is an innocent baby. This is cruel. And Hashem tells him, oh, you question my ways? You think that what I'm doing is wrong? Save one of them. Save one of them. His name was Michael. And what ended up happening is when everyone went to get the valuables, and Moshe went to pick up the thing, this little guy followed him. And when he saw him throw the petek in, what did he do? He jumped into the water and took the petek with him. Now, when they came to do the time of the sin of the golden calf, what did Aaron? He came to them and said, go get the jewels from your wives. Because he knew that the wives, he wanted to delay them until Moshe Rabbeinu would come. He knew the wives would say, imagine now you come to your wife, tell her, give me your earrings. Give me your diamond ring, give me your bracelet. You're going to get 2 kafot and kick out the door. Are you crazy? So he said, go to your wives. They go to the wives, they asked them, of course the wife said no. But the men were so excited and vigorous about doing the sin of the golden calf, not the sin, but the golden calf, that they went and got their own gold. And they came back so fast, I wanted to know what to do. They lit up a fire to melt and to mold the thing, the gold. They threw in the gold. Comes this guy Michael, and he throws in the petek, throws in the little letter of Aleh Shor, and right away all the gold molded into a calf. And the calf not only was just a statue sitting there doing nothing, it was walking and talking. Midrash says they was walking and talking and saying, Ani Hashem Elokecha. It was stating the 10 Commandments. And people were asking Shailot, they were asking questions on halakha. And the golden calf was telling them, Akol mutar, everything is allowed. Because before they got the Torah, they were allowed to marry their aunts, and there was intermarriage was allowed. As we know, famously Amram married his aunt. Moshe Rabbeinu's father married his aunt. It was allowed. And then comes Har Sinai, they come to the Mount Sinai and get the Torah. They can no longer marry their aunts and close relatives like that. So all types of restrictions about how you can marry. So comes the golden calf and says, oh, you can marry whoever you want. So they heard this. They heard, oh, you can marry whoever you want. You can do whatever you want. The excitement aroused in them. The even inclination aroused in them. They said, yeah, instead of dancing and singing, you can finally go back with all these restrictions. And they were dancing and dancing. And Hashem says, that's how you show me? When a test comes before you, when a false prophet becomes before you, that shows you, oh, there's maybe an easier way, where you can get away from my restrictions, where you can go towards the smooth path. Are you going to be so quick to leave everything, to leave me, and go that way? And if you are, then it shows me that you never really loved me. Because if Hashem's like the soldier, that at the end of the day he's coming, and he's excited to see his nation, he's coming back to them, and he wants to see his beautiful wife, he wants to see his beautiful Jew. Every single one who's sitting over here is a special neshama. Every single one of you. And the more you get close to Hashem, the more happy he gets. All he wants is a relationship with you. All he wants. And the closer you get to him, the happier he is. And then comes a certain friend and tells you, we're going out to catch tomorrow night. You say, huh? He says, catch tomorrow night. But Rabbeinu, that's not for me. Listen, Joey's coming, this one's coming, that one's coming. We're getting 3 bottles, bottle service is going to be crazy. Here's the prophet, here's the false prophet, here's the smooth path. Which way are you going to go? They want it to a little bit more restrictive. No. It's not for me to go to these type of places, to be involved in such things. Or you're going to go that route. Hashem says, where are you holding? If you really love me, you hold strong even when temptation comes. When temptation comes your way, you're going to be able to say, no, I love Hashem. I love God. I know that if I'm going to get past this little thorny bush, if I get past this little part right now, it's hard for me. And in the end, I'm going to be the happiest person. As we know, I've said this many times over, I personally come from this life. I was a DJ, I was a dancer, people can testify from over here. I was in the epitome of that life. I reached the highest levels of what it could be to be in the nightlife scene. Me and my brother. We reached the highest levels of what could be in the nightlife scene. To the point where you go to a party, you can do whatever you want. You go to any party, go to anything in the world. It doesn't make a difference. Every night you can go wherever you want. There was no restrictions. And you get to the point and you realize it's all fake. No happiness over there. No nothing there. We have friends who are still involved in this and they're still in the hole. Still in the hole, so trying to get out. Why? Because that call came in. We're going to catch on Tuesday. We're going to catch on Saturday night. We're going to this place. We're going to that place. We're going to Kiss and Fly. We're going to Island. We're going to whatever it is. I can name all the clubs. You guys want? No problem. Going to Pasha. We're going to Touch. We're going to Webster Hall. Remember? We're going to M1. We're going to Mansion. You guys are like, what are you talking about? This is the old school clubs. Yeah? And people fell down to that. And look, today, they're still suffering. They're still suffering. They still can't get out. I can't find a woman. I can't get married. I can't get serious in my life. Nothing matzliach. Nothing they do is working. Everything they try, nothing's matzliach. Because they went that route. Hashem says, I know right now you have in front of you 2 paths. Right? And one of them looks easy and smooth sailing. And you can have that instant gratification. And the happiness is going to come right away. But understand, I'm here to tell you, pass that half a mile in the thorny bush, and you're going to reach the most beautiful terrain you've ever seen in your life. Butterflies, according to Avi. And the other side, over there's the black hole. So I implore everyone over here to take the path that looks a little bit harder. And with that, we'll be able to have the true happiness in our lives.